Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy Sember and this is my husband John, and I am a 100-meter hurdler and I am currently training for my 3rd Olympic Games. So I have been to 2 Olympics so far and my goal is to get to another one, and in order to do that I have to eat healthy. So my diet is something that I have to be kind of strict with, because obviously if you're not eating the right foods, you're not going to build the muscle from all the practicing you do. So something I like to do is I like to eat good food and save it well for later. And something that helps us do that is using a chamber vac. So I can use this chamber vac to save food for later in the freezer, and it preserves it by taking all the oxygen out, and it really makes it last longer. It also allows us to pre-portion meals, which allows me to focus on training and focus on traveling and also being able to eat at the same time, which is good. So that's something that's really helpful, and I'm really excited to share with you guys how helpful it could be for you if you're interested in it.
So this is an awesome product. This is a chamber vac, and basically it takes the oxygen out of the bag. Or you can also use containers with it. There's a number of different attachments, and we'll talk about some of those. But a lot of it is, it removes the oxygen, and that makes it last longer in the refrigerator or in the freezer, or even if it's like a not refrigerated item, having the oxygen taken out of it makes it last longer in whatever environment it is. So 2 big things: it allows us to pre-portion stuff. It allows us to buy in bulk,
Yes.
Which saves a lot of money.
So we'll buy a lot of meat together, and we'll like to use this to save all that meat in our freezer. And we'll share right here some of the foods that we saved already. Weighing out some meat to put in the chamber vac now.
Cool thing about these bags versus food saver bags is that they're smooth on both sides because they don't need the ribs to get the oxygen out, which means they're a lot cheaper. You can buy 1,000 of these at a time, and then you're in the 5 to 10 cents a bag region. So I've left this big hole in here, so we're going to see how well it sucks all the air out of it. Put it out. So this is the heat bar. All right, we're going to turn the power button on. It's on preset 1, which is one of the longest ones. So I'm going to push it down and push seal.
Now we wait.
Now we wait, and we're going to find out if it sucks all the air out of, well, everywhere really. The advantage of this little filler in here is you can change how your meat sits in there. There's a little divot there so you can do canning jars. But by putting in this, it takes up space. That's that much air that doesn't need to be sucked out. Oh, there you go. Now it's heat sealing. There it gets released. Yeah, and it sucked all that air out even from that little corner.
It's really helpful just to be able to save it and have it in the freezer and have it last for a while.
Yeah, so being able to pre-portion it, toss it in here, suck all the air out, and then the other thing that's amazing about chamber vacs is they allow you to do meats. With some other vacuum devices, they don't take out nearly as much air, and if you have fluid in your material, it doesn't work well. Whereas with a chamber vac, it sucks air out of the entire chamber, then seals the bag, and then it allows the air back in. And so you can do liquids as long as they're not hot. And you can also do meats that are still liquidy, moist. You can even do soups. So you can have a quick soup when you come home and thaw that out very quickly.
All right, so here are some of the things that came with it, and we can show you how they work.
The attachments, yeah, it has this wine stopper. What I find works is you hold it on the thing that you're trying to vac, you push pump, get it on there. -9, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna hit stop. And then
there you go. So now it's all sealed, and you can save your wine for later, maybe the following week, and it won't be flat.
Yeah, one of the cool things is they put these date codes on here. The little numbers on the outside so you can show when you put it in.
Yeah, so we're not sure if it's been there for 2 months or 2 weeks, so you gotta remember.
Another thing, this guy. So this chamber is something, again, it has the date codes on top. You can get different size chambers from them, and it's a nice stainless steel chamber with a lid. And
we put lettuce in it, by the way.
Yeah, we're experimenting with making the lettuce last longer in our refrigerator because leaves, for whatever reason, always want to die. Quickly. So, and so this is showing -0.097 megapascals, which is generally as low as it goes. So running it for additional time, you're not going to get additional air out of it. There we go. And on this thing, at least for me, this always likes to stick, so make sure you take it out of there. And there you go. a backed up container, whatever you need to store. This will make things in your refrigerator last a lot longer, and the stainless steel helps, you know, keep it nice and cold with the heat transfer. If you have something with plastic, it takes a little bit longer for it to cool down. So those are a couple examples of some of the accessories that comes with it. So another few examples of things that have worked for us is Cindy made this chicken. She seasoned it all up and then chamber vacked it and ran it through sous vide.
Yeah.
So this is cooked and ready for her to cut out and throw in with the chicken
It's
salad.
like a pound of meat, and it looks very compact.
Pound of meat, yeah. And you know, you can also do it in smaller portion sizes because the bags aren't that expensive. So she could do like single serving sizes for a single day, and that helps do a whole bunch of you know, food prep all at once,
Right.
and then you eat throughout the week and save a lot of time on cooking.
Yeah, it's like the way people like to use the containers. You can just use the bags.
Exactly. And here's another great example. So these were frozen. These are sirloin steaks that we got. Big package at a better price. Cindy chamber vacuumed them, but we're going to be making them for dinner tonight. So she took these out, and again, they're fully sealed. So she was able to throw these in a container of cold water. They thawed out very quickly because they're thin. They're ready to go, and we're going to be making dinner out of these tonight. This also comes with the chamber vac, the JVR VAC100. So one of the things I do like about it is this lid. It stays where you put it, which is really nice. Some of them, when they release, they'll pop open, but if you had this under a cabinet like this, it would hit the door, and it could damage this or damage the door or what have you. So it's very nice that it opens a little bit, but you actually have to lift it and it pretty much just stays where you want it to. This is included in it. These are just pieces of HDPE. It's basically like a cutting board, and all it does is it takes up space inside of here so that there's less air in here to vac out. So if you're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff, you can optimize what your chamber size is, because that determines your cycle time. And so you can get a lot done a little bit more quickly.
Yep. So this is one that we froze about, I don't know how long it says, maybe 2 months ago. And we didn't have a chamber vac at the time. So we can do it in Ziploc bags. However, it might freeze or burn, or it will freeze or burn quicker.
Yeah, these little areas are where ice and oxygen pool, and that's going to be the first places you get the freezer burn. But you can see when you keep it thin like that, it makes it easier to freeze and thaw, especially because we often thaw with like a sous vide circulator. It thaws out like super quick.
I need to put it in hot water. But either way, this was only 2 months ago, and that's already showing this. So
Also, they sit and stack.
So it's easier, yeah, for more space, for less space.
And these bags, I don't know if you tell, they get this little notch here to make them easier to open.
Oh yeah.
We'll find out how well it works.
We'll see. All right, John is going to share a little bit of what it looks like and the details.
Yeah. So a quick overview of the chamber vac. It's got this wonderful stainless steel body. It has these handles here. They're part of the upper half that hinges off, so I like to lift it actually from the actual chassis, from the body, because this top hinges open. We'll show that in a second. This is a composite tub where you're actually doing your vacuuming, which is great because it's easy to clean out. This is a little bit deeper, so you can put slightly taller objects in here. It actually increases your chamber capacity, which is a nice touch. This is where the air is actually vacked out of, which is why when you're using the accessory hose, it goes right on there, because that's where the air is coming out of, or where it comes back into the chamber. Now this is your seal that your nice glass container goes on, and this is the top of the sealing bar. So this heat bar, this sealing bar, is actually forced up against this when it seals, and that's what actually heat seals the bag shut. This is easily removable for cleaning as well, and the current that heats this bar up passes through these two studs here. These little guys are what you attach your bag to, so they hold the bag while it's being evacuated, and then move with it as it comes up and seals. So this is your power button. This will go to sleep after a little while. If you're having an issue, for example, you happen to be chamber vacuuming heavy whipping cream and you put way too much in the bag, and it starts to bubble over and get all over your chamber.
How do you know this?
Don't ask me how, you know, there's no reason I should know that. You hit your stop button. Then if you are doing just an accessory port, you use the pump button to do that. Also, another quick tip, while it's running, if you decide that your item is vacuumed enough, or you want to stop and seal, this is basically like an abort button. Stop it, don't seal, just stop, right? This, if you hit decrease, it will skip to the next part of the cycle, which if it's vacuuming, that means it'll heat seal at that point. So that's an option if you believe it's finished, you can jump through the cycle and finish it off that way, save a little bit of time. And then the way this works, as we showed in the intro, is pretty simple. You set your bag in there and then you just push down and she goes. Okay, so this is your on-off button. It is standard. Push the top, opens the top. All right, excuse me. That's the on position, that's the off position. Pretty standard that when the switch is up, it's on. So, in order to get to and add oil, you need to remove 3 screws. It's the very bottom screws, do not touch the top screws. What I found with this bottom screw is when I went to close it, it would hang up in this area, and I needed to use a small screwdriver to pry it loose. But once I did that, it slipped right into place.
And why is seeing the inside helpful?
Because once you see it, it's amazing how ready it is for you to work on it. Here's the inside. It has a little strut. When you flip it up all the way, it holds pretty well, so you can actually get in here. This is the oil pump, okay? So the number one task is you open this up here, and they give you a little funnel. You must add oil. And then the sight glass is right here. This is just visible through the side of the chamber vac. Check that, check it often. You're looking for height and also for color. All right, so the vacuum pump sucks into here. This right here controls turning on and off this and allowing air back into the chamber at the end of the cycle. When everything releases, this valve is actuating. This valve is controlled by the electronics that are all housed in this particular box. These right here are the power for the heat sealing bars, and then this is the transformer that gives the correct voltages for all the controls. You know, all of these parts, you can get this tubing, you can get the new electrical board, new switch, all of it is on their website. You can quickly get on there and get whatever part you need to actually fix it. The pros and cons of a chamber vac versus say like a food saver or a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bags are literally just the price of the bag, right? But they aren't gonna preserve the food long term. You're gonna get freezer burned, and you know, you're gonna end up throwing away some more food.
Yeah.
A food saver, the little vacuum, the device itself is not horribly expensive. It's a couple $100, but the bags are definitely more expensive than a chamber vac. It does not do liquids well, and it struggles with meats. We have one, and I do not trust it for long-term storage in the freezer because I've used it and they still get freezer burned. A chamber vac is more expensive up front, but the bags are a lot cheaper. And
that's nice.
Yeah, which is really nice. They're actually cheaper than Ziploc bags if you buy them in bulk. And it will really do a good job, and it can do liquids, no problem, no issue. There are certain liquids like heavy whipping cream where you be careful how much you put in there, but it will still get 99.99% of the air out. You can also use it if you happen to have like a freeze dryer. It can be used with that for meals. The one other thing we didn't touch on before is this heat sealing bar can be replaced with another one. It's called the retort sealing bar, and you can actually do some canning in a pouch, so you can have almost like an MRE, which is something that we may experiment with in the future, because that would be an option for Cindy to have kind of an on-the-go meal, which is super handy, and that's something that you can't do any other way. You can't do that with a Ziploc bag. You can't do that with a food saver. So there's some pros and cons. If this is something that makes sense for you,
you can use our code. So it is Sember100, and if you guys are interested, use that code and you get $100 off of your purchase.
One of the advantages of JVR is not only do you have these wonderful accessories that you can add, these stainless steel containers which you can vacuum, all of the bags and everything are here, your vac oil, all of the different things that you'll need, accessories, but also once you're out of the warranty period, you have replacement parts and additional parts like the retort bar assembly that allow you to do retort canning. One of the fantastic things is with our code, you go into your cart, punch in your coupon code, you can save $100 off of your own vacuum sealer.
If you guys like this and you want to see more of this in our videos, give it a thumbs up so we know, and subscribe for more, and we will see you guys in another video. Bye.